So we have an A-frame that we're going to treat as an anchor frame. This isn't going to be a directional frame. And we're going to go over how to apply front tie oppositions and back ties to this, because if I just stand this up and I want to operate this frame on an anchor just like this, it won't stay. It's going to fall over in one direction or another. Even if I just do a simple back tie, it needs an opposition in order to stay up. So we're going to do this with a single piece of cordage, that little 6mm cord right there. I'm going to lay this down for a second. We're going to start at the front tie opposition, and usually when we do this, it's always a little more clean and more efficient to start with a front tie opposition and then work your way to the back tie. And so we have the terminal end of our cordage here. This happens to be 6mm, it's about 165 feet. I'm going to start with the Munter Italian HMS hitch, and I want to give myself a little bit of tail for just stability, like an arm span, and then begin my Italian hitch, right? Fold that in half, pop that in. I don't really care about lock carabiners right now because this is just for educational purposes. I want to make sure that the tension side of my front tie opposition is in lower mode, right? So if you look at the way the Munter, the Italian, flips over, depending on if it's being raised or being lowered, I want that in lower mode. And then I just dog this off with 2 half hitches. So one, keep that. I'll put my knee on it to give a little bit of mild tension so I can actually choke this up. 1 half hitch and 2 half hitches. Let's get that through there. So now that that's set, we're gonna walk our line all the way back. And we're kind of just ballparking this. When I position this, I want to position this a little bit forward, because when I back tie against this front tie opposition, it'll end up tension kind of upright. And then once you apply like a device here to tension your load, it's gonna pull forward and your front tie is gonna go slack, which is not a problem. But I just want to get the sizing and spacing right. So over here I could go anywhere. I could use Prusik, webbing, whatever, or I could just use the carabiner right here. It's pretty fast and easy to do. And it's just a terminal tie off right here. You can just do a simple figure 8 on a bite. Pop one over the other so that I address it as I tie it. Ideally my gain should be pretty low, so that's a low gain right there, and I can just feed the rest of that out. There. That's perfectly fine right there. All right, I'll put this in. And we're gonna jump to the back side now. And we're gonna jump with another carabiner right here, just to make it fast and easy so you can see it. Again, I can use the cordage that I have to make like a Portuguese bowline or whatever, but that's not the point of this. The point of this is just to demonstrate the guying. So we'll guy it back to here. You have to be watch out, make sure that your hardware can actually accommodate right here. It's banging up a little bit, so maybe I'm gonna have to keep this carabiner kind of oriented this way. Normally I would have it oriented up, but it kind of gets in the way right here. So I'm just gonna keep this down. So I want my jumper, I don't want it super long, but I don't want it to be super tight either. So something reasonable. I'm gonna do another figure 8 on a bite right here. So I'll feed that through, address it by popping one strand over the other as I tie it. There's my figure 8. I'm just gonna clip it down into here. I'll call that good. Okay. I'm gonna need another carabiner to make my circle. So this goes on my harness or belt loop or whatever. And so now I make my circle. And I'm gonna clip this in too. So I'll have all that in here. There we go. And this goes to my carabiner here, and now I drag everything out. And right now this can fall over if it wants to. I'm not too concerned about that. And I'm gonna walk this all the way back. And I go beyond my anchor so that I have enough to actually back tie with. So I clip down, rotate in, and I don't need this carabiner anymore. I'll take this back up to the anchor with me. I want to make sure I kind of get the sizing right. It takes more than one person to kind of do this correctly. So I'm not going to tie this off just yet. If you look at how far back we are with this frame, I want to start my back tying with this frame is about like right there. Kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is take all the slack out of my front tie, and that's why I wanted to tie it with a muncher, so I can make my fine adjustments. And now the muncher is going to pop because I'm going up, right? So I'm going to bring all that slack out. And if the A-frame tips over, that's fine. I can reset it. I just want the distance right. So that's probably about right there. But now I'm in kind of raise mode. I need to pop that back over so that it's in lower mode right there. And I lost a little bit of distance on the cord, so I'm going to actually pull with my hand, pinch right there, keep it in lower mode, and then cinch that down. And now I can dog off with 2 1/2 inches. And I want to make sure I don't lose any progress. Bring that up, and then continue on. So now we're dogged off. I've got my distances right. Let's come back and back tie. And we back tie. If I'm by myself, it can kind of get hard to maintain the progress if I don't have help, so I just pinch it with my finger, leave this unlocked, make a round turn. Now it's a lot easier for me to dog off when I have that round turn in there. I don't lose as much, if anything. So cinch that up, make that nice and tight. That's 1 1/2 inch, and we go 2 1/2 inches. All right, let's go check our frame, see where we're at. I could probably tension this back even more to get this frame to be maybe back more vertical almost, because remember, we're gonna put a device here that's gonna get loaded, like our main line or whatever. So whatever that looks like. So if it looks like something like this, and when we're loading, we're going forward. So if we can back tie this a little bit more to get our anchor frame a little more upright, that's kind of where we want to be.